This is Mustache on music, and this is the Lemon Bucket Orkestra.
Yeah, man.
Two of us, anyways.
Cool. I have to say, these are some damn fine, good-looking mustaches.
Well, mine's kind of a baby mustache. He's got like the grandpa, the seasoned mustache going on.
It's a little wild.
Yeah, kind of wild.
How long have you been growing that?
It's been a year and 4 months.
It's pretty good, man. I'm only a baby. This is about 8 months, so I got some catching up. So, Lemon Bucket Orkestra. You guys started out as a busking group. You've kind of evolved into what you are now. You guys still busk at all?
Sometimes it happens. We're gonna do it actually more like in May.
Yeah.
We're gonna go out more often in May. Yeah.
It's kind of a seasonal busking thing. Like in the winter, obviously it's super cold, and last summer we didn't do tons of busking because we were traveling across Canada
And we did it on tour actually.
Yeah, we
we
did a
busk in
bunch.
Calgary. We busk in different places.
Sometimes hard to remember where we were busking and where we weren't. But,
You know.
but we're going to South Korea.
Oh, cool.
And we decided like that part of the one way that we could raise a bit extra cash to sort of cover our costs and make it possible for more people to travel with us was to sort of spend some time in Toronto busking all over the place and letting the people of our hometown decide whether we go to South Korea or not.
That's pretty ingenuitive to do that. What's the reaction you get when you guys start playing? Because I've seen some videos like your Air Canada. People seem to enjoy that. What's the reaction when you guys just start on the street?
In general, like they kind of like surprised at first, and they don't really understand what's going on. So it takes them a minute to be like, wait a second, what's that? Why here? What's like? Because we play in a random spot where they're not used to see that, so take them a time with that. But in general, then they start smiling and they appreciate it.
We get a big range of reactions. I mean, that you said that. There was that like Air Canada one. That was great. People were taking out their phones and taking lots of pictures and sharing it all over the place. But we were in the airport last week, and a guy told me to shut the fuck up. And like,
Really?
it's really nice. We appreciate your music and your taste in music, but maybe not everyone has the same taste over here. And meanwhile, like when we stop playing, like you hear in the background, like woo!
Yeah.
That wasn't busking. That was just playing. But you get every kind of reaction on the streets too. You get like some people just like walking by and being like not knowing what to do, and other people who will immediately start a dance party and like try and grab people and suck them in.
And there's for sure some people that just like continue the life. Without like, we're gonna be playing like in this like financial like district at lunch break, where like there's never any music happening, anything there, and they're having lunch break and they come out and there's like 14 musicians playing on the sidewalk, and they will just walk by and continue without even noticing
Like blinders on.
They so much like, they're like in their head that they will like see 14 musicians playing on the side of the street and
Just not even
continue the day, go to the lunch break like every day, without noticing anything. So you're like, what the heck?
Those people definitely do not sport mustaches.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
That's
Non-mustache world.
It's weird. That's where we go, and it's like we're definitely out of our element.
Yeah.
We like the mustache universe.
Yeah. With the new album that just came out, you guys had gone over to Europe and Ukraine. Did any of what you experienced over there at the time affect the tone of the album that you guys have out right now?
Well, I can talk for ages about this. What about you?
Yeah, no, for sure.
It was, we had planned to record the album in May, and what happened is I had gone to Ukraine and I had been there throughout the sort of highest, most violent parts of the revolution, up until the point where then the president was finally ousted and the snipers were called in and started shooting and all that kind of stuff. And I came back and I came to Tanguy and said, we were supposed to be living together at the time, and I came back and we were getting ready to record the album, and I said, "Hey, Tongi, you know, I'm sorry, but I think I have to go back to Ukraine." And that's, you know, it's a place where, speaking of busking, that's a place where I felt I need to go out and play on the street for people that are out at the protests, for people that are affected by revolution, to write about the stories that they're sharing with us, to play music for them, to support them in a really difficult time. And he said, "All right, I'm coming with you." And a couple other guys in the band also said, "Yeah, we're in, let's go do it." And so we created this thing called Lemon Cheeky Project. So like a little mini version kind of Lemon Bucket, and we went over there and we started sort of going around different cities and hooked up with musicians from over there as well. Among them, Marichka Kudratseva, who's now in the band with us, and we're getting married in a little while.
Oh, wow.
But there's this whole, you know, we came back. Obviously, there are big changes, you know, that happened as a result of being over there. So, and coming back and then having all that on our mind. I mean, I can speak for myself, going to then straight to a Canadian tour and having these, you know, the images of what was happening in Ukraine, and knowing that the revolution had developed into a war in a country that is so, you know, apart from my own sort of, you know, I guess ethnic connections to the country. It's a place that is the center of the music that we play. You know, one of the centers. We play a lot of Ukrainian music, and the sort of starting point of the band was you know, was a lot of repertoire that I learned when I was over there. So you know, we were definitely affected by that, and kind of that energy came into the tour, and it then, you know, came into the recording as well. How we approached these songs and how we approached one another, and a lot of high points and low points and sort of emotional intensity that went into the album for sure.
So you guys play reworked traditional Ukrainian folk songs.
And Romanian and Serbian and
Eastern European. What are the genres and musicians that you pull from when you're reworking the music to give it your touch?
everything.
Yeah, it's a huge mix of genre and styles. And
Yeah, like, well, look, I can say, you know, there's a couple of our guys that went through like classical training, and they draw, like, the way that they hear music a lot comes from sort of classical composing and sort of chamber arrangements and stuff like that. We have a guy that's in a funk band, and he really brings that kind of side. We have a trombone player that plays like cumbia and klezmer music, and he brings those kind of sounds to it. Tongi's from Brittany, from the west of France, and so his playing definitely is like a mix of all of that he had growing up, plus traveling through Eastern Europe and getting like all of those sort of elements. And we have jazz guys that will hear sort of elements of bebop and stuff like that. And yeah, it's a really wide mix.
When you guys come together, is it like everybody somebody would find a song that they like, and then everybody puts their ideas in on it, or is there a general idea that somebody has and then everybody works around it, or how do you come together as a group to?
Well, there's a few different ways. Like, one way is like when we go traveling in Eastern Europe, we meet with these local bands and we learn songs from them. And then we have like material when we come back home and we can start working on them. That's one way that we learn songs. Otherwise, sometimes like a lot of the songs Marcek listen to a lot of like music from Eastern Europe, and like hear a song that like would be good with the band, bring it to rehearsal, and then we start working on it. And
Okay.
And sometimes nothing comes of it, and sometimes
Became a great song.
it becomes a good song. There's a lot of
Sometimes
songs.
outside the people too, like doing songs, random person would send a song to a band and we'd be like, that could work.
Yeah, be like fans of ours.
Really?
Yeah, they'll come and they'll be like, oh
Should do
man,
that song."
do you know this band? You should do this song. And we've done that. We've taken it. We've
Some songs that
Some songs are
alright. We should try it. We should try it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like magical how it works.
And sometimes they're totally off.
Sometimes it's like
They're like, man, you should do Freebird. Freebird.
No, not quite, eh?
Not right.
If you had to describe your album, the new one, as a mustache, what mustache would it be?
What do you think?
I don't know. That's a hard question. I'm not really good at my knowledge about mustache is not really big either.
I think I would call it like a sheepdog.
Sheepdog?
Yeah, it would be a sheepdog stash, like the kind that like comes over your lip and like that's really respectable and old, but like it gets in the way when you're eating a little bit, you know?
Okay.
And like you sometimes like have to comb it and part it aside, but with the right amount of grooming, like it can become like yours,
Okay.
you know? That's what I would say.
It's a good mustache.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good mustache. It's, you know, it's not the ideal end point of a mustache, you know. It gives you something to work with. If you get a pair of scissors, that's what we need in the band is a pair of scissors.
Yeah.
Little
We need someone
wax.
to know how to use scissors.
Yeah, we're working on it. We got 17 people so far. Nobody knows how to use scissors.
Awesome.
We fail every time.
One day we'll find a good barber.
I don't know, you wouldn't want to trim that up, Eddie. That's
Oh
pretty
yeah,
awesome.
I'm gonna trim it soon, I think.
Man, you should see him when he takes all this stuff off. We call him Tongalina. He's like becomes a girl immediately.
I wanted to ask, because I've seen some pictures with you putting stuff in your beard.
Oh yeah.
What's
Of
the
course you have.
what's the craziest thing, or you can answer this too, what's the craziest thing he's put in his beard?
Craziest thing is putting my beard. I don't know.
Well, there was those two girls in Quebec, right? That was kind of weird, awkward.
Two girls in your beard.
Two girls from Quebec.
Yeah. He once held a 6-pack in there. That was convenient.
Yeah, that is convenient.
Yeah, road stop.
Yeah, you can have a bunch of things in there. Pretty practical for sure.
Yeah, the jar of pickles wasn't so great.
No.
Just you have to refrigerate them.
Alright, thank you guys. This is Mustache on Music. Two of the members of the Bucket Orkestra.
Got this mustache in 3 weeks.
I usually shave mine off.
Yeah, and start again.
I feel like doing that. November is like the month where like real mustache people shave.